Yeah. Let's go.
Do we see a green bike in the front? Shakes it down. Webster with a good jump.
Luke Cloud up the inside. Cloud that comes through. Not what she used to.
Jed Beat has done everything right today. 5 seconds to go. 24, ProMX champion. Take a bow, Kyle Webster.
Go hard.
For the first time since 2021, we find ourselves in the nation's capital and a fast-flowing Fairbairn Park circuit. Situated in Queanbeyan, just outside of Canberra. Hello everyone and welcome to round 6 of the Penrite ProMX Championship presented by AMX Superstores. I'm Lee Hogan alongside former Supercross superstar Danny Ham. Danny, welcome. We're in Canberra. This place looks fantastic.
It does, it really does. They've had a bit of rain leading into this. They've done a lot of work to the track. We got the chance to have a ride on it. I can tell you what, it's going to develop into a serious motocross track.
Pirelli MX2 class at the last round. It was Alex Larwood on board the Honda machine who came out on top, and it wasn't our series championship points leader, Brodie Connolly. He had a crash in that second moto, putting paid to his efforts.
Yeah, look, that was a tough day for Brodie Connolly, but no matter what he does, he seems to still bounce back, pick up some more wins. A healthy 17-point lead in the championship. Great to see Larwood grabbing a result that's really going to boost that confidence and bring him back up there in the fight as well, along with Kingsford being in there as well. This is well and truly not done.
Still up for grabs, that's for sure. Something that's going to be a little bit tougher to try to take away the points lead is in the Maxxis MX3 class. Cade Kingsford has just stomped them in recent rounds and he's got a monster 38-point lead.
Yeah, 38 points, 7 moto wins on the trot. That is quite the record to have leading into the tail end of this championship. So very, very confident moving forwards out of this. We need to see Woods step up at this round again, crunch time if he has any hope, but Kingsford has just been so good to watch.
So much still to play for. Well, this round, Hammy, you got to go out and take a look at the track. Let's see how he went.
Welcome to this round's Shingleback off-road track preview. Now, I have managed to get Lee to bring out the Shingleback beast all the way to the track, so I didn't have to walk too fast. So let's get the bike off the back of the Shingleback moto rack and check out this track.
Here we are, first turn, and this is our first change here since the last time we were here. Nice left handle coming out of it, straight into some rollers. Bounce over the top, the dirt itself, you can see just underneath us. So loamy at the moment. Some really cool big jumps here too. These lines, these corners. A lot of options. Fast straight down in the right, just over the finish line tabletop. And into this left-hander. Quite long open corners as well as we go around this one. Into a second. Little bump on the inside to split up the lines. Of our mud pits that are currently on the track at the moment. Look at this low, long and beautiful. Into the right-hander here, you can see there's a rut formed up, 2 laps. First set of rollers, nice and easy. Around the right-hander here. And then into our big jumps. Third gear. Wind it on. This one's not too big for the next one. Little over jump there, but oh well. Can't learn too much in 2 laps. Fast right hand into another right here. This will split up into some good outside-inside options. And here's first, another fog hole right there. There's a couple of them around this track. Towards the tail end here of the track right now, into the left-hander, and this loam is nice. This Honda's working overtime underneath me. Little tabletop here past the mechanics area. Into the right, we rejoin the track, into our woods. There is one average lap around Canberra by an old guy.
Welcome back to the Penrite ProMX Championship presented by AMX Superstores. Our Pirelli MX2 boys are out just finishing off their sight lap. But before we get things underway, Danny Ham managed to catch up with Kiwi gun Cobie Burke.
There is a long history of New Zealand racers making the trip across the water to Australia for the Motocross Championship, and it's no different here in 2025. One of those riders joining me right now, Cobie Burke. Cobie, New Zealand Honda factory rider over here in Australia, running this championship for the first time, currently sitting 8th. How has it been for you this year?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we were just coming to do the first 4 rounds, and then, yeah, I've gone better than I thought, so we just stayed, and me and my old man have just been, ticking along, and yeah.
The switch between New Zealand and Australian motocross, it seems that we have a lot of Australians go over there, a lot of New Zealanders come over here. We're very closely knit in the community of motocross. Does that benefit you when you get back to the New Zealand Championships?
Oh yeah, definitely. Coming over here, your guys' intensity is just like nothing to match back New Zealand. So yeah, come over here and get as much knowledge and stuff, and take it back and try and use it back there.
We've made the trip down to Canberra. The cooler conditions, surely you'd be a little bit more at home at some of this. First time into Canberra though, how are you finding it? What are you expecting out of this weekend?
Yeah, it is the first time here, and yes, it's cold like New Zealand. I'm keen. The track looks good, so yeah, I'm just keen to get into racing.
Cobie Burke, another one of these riders from New Zealand that you've got to keep your eye on.
What an absolute young gun he is. Huge future, Danny, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Number 2 in the championship this year in New Zealand. So another one of these riders, as we said, that makes the big trip over here, grabs some more experience and fills up this field with the most talented riders from the area, as you can see with the number 1, another New Zealander, and this guy here, Brodie Connolly, who leads the list here. Ryder Kingsford there in the 2nd position, Byron Dennis. Noah Ferguson, Alex Larwood, our last round winner. Look out for him, he looked very good. Yeah,
it was interesting in qualifying, Hammy. I was watching very, very closely with the times, and right from the first lap, once the green flag came out, Brodie Connolly, boom, dropped his fastest time. Likewise with Kingsford. So after not the best round at the last round from Kingsford, he was well off in time and points. He has proven that he is going to be in there in the mix today. Now, they live just an hour from here, so you'd have to think of it almost as his local track.
Yeah, I'm sure that he's done some laps around here. There's always that ability to have some knowledge of a track as you turn up to it after doing a lot of laps around here. As we see, 15-second board up, now turn sideways. We are set to get the first of our Pirelli MX2 Moto number 1 underway here in Canberra.
Shocking start there for someone got spat out the back, but it's the number 1 of Connolly up the inside who manages to push the number 13. Is that Deacon Pace? A little wide. Reese Budd on the Penrite Empire Kawasaki. Great start for him, and he rockets around the outside and into the lead.
Wow, how about that move right there? I'm sure Brodie Connolly wasn't expecting that on the opening couple of turns. However, Connolly, with the swing around, will get the momentum going. Noah Ferguson just moving into 4th. He was 6th out of turn number 1, and also up there is Alex Larwood. So some of our big hitters already up the front, ready to play in this one, as too is Byron Dennis. So everyone is there. Let's see how this one turns out.
And massive crash there.
Reese.
Wow, that was a knife of the front end and straight over the handlebars. He would not have known that that was coming. The WP hole shot going to Brodie Connolly.
He's still down in the background. You can see it right there, taking some time to get back up. As you said, a very violent crash. Another one goes down just there. I think that was a Yamaha, possibly Cosford, that went down just on the right of screen as we see Pace there. Still holding down that position, but only just in front of Ferguson. Watch the scrub from Ferguson here. Oh, the boy is throwing it sideways. No, there is Cosford, so it wasn't him. Kingsford's just in the back there. Larwood ready to bring this fight early.
Yeah, the riders 3 abreast there. Larwood trying to cut back under, but the rut's just proving a little bit difficult to do that as he tries to launch an attack around the outside of Deacon Pace. Noah Ferguson there is at the head of the pack, but it looks to me like Larwood's on a charge. What a line.
Larwood looked very good in qualifying to the inside here. He will not have the sweep around speed. However, he controls the inside. And right now, he has got himself moving there into 2nd place. Oh, Ferguson tries to be forceful. They didn't come together. That was more of a, I don't want to be a part of this just yet, at the opening lap. let's just ride this one out. So Ferguson back into second.
Wow, so impressed with how this track is shaping up to be racing, the lines that are coming together and the passing opportunities. How many times early in the first of this Pirelli MX2 race have we seen riders 2 or 3 abreast?
Great line option at the moment. You can see just there how deep those ruts were leading into that tabletop. The riders are very far back on the pegs, trying to keep the toes nice and high so they don't collect them. Leg nice and high there for Ferguson as he came through that rut, which was developed pretty early by these riders. If we look at this Honda replay now,
right,
up to the top of the screen, yes.
Just a knife in the front. How brutal was that?
And not only that, an absolute slap down by the bike as well. It could have been as simple out over the front, but the bike had to throw its little bit in there as we see the boys scrubbing. Cosford, lowest in the background, will pick up another one in Kingsford on the charge as well.
This is just one of the all-time epic shots of motocross, isn't it? That front-on shot with those 3 jumps, especially when they start to get a little bit out of rhythm where one rider's jumping up while the other one's coming down. It just looks brilliant. 17.5 minutes. Anything can happen here. Larwood with the fastest lap, a 1:34.9. He is on a charge. Let's not forget, he was our overall winner at the last round, so he's got to be coming off a little bit of extra confidence.
And there is the reasoning.
Beautiful line up on the sidewall there. Brilliant.
Saw that one. The reasoning there as to why we see that gap close down so quick was the fact that Larwood did make that move and get the quickest lap time. Here we go, the double scrub here, both the same way. No, Ferguson so much lower, and you can see that little gain he had.
Yeah, but did you see how low Larwood was on the first one? Do you think the reason that Larwood just straight jumped it on that second one was because he was worried he was going to get hit by Ferguson?
The 2 riders very close. Oh, no, Larwood! That was a long time coming. He was fighting that front wheel going into it. Such a small crash, but a massive impact into the position that he is in at the moment. So all that hard work, the fastest lap time, all gone to waste. Watch the front wheel just going into this by the outside bike. The number 5 just misses the line. Actually, I think the 2 lines might have come together.
Yeah, and it looked like a little bit sloppy there, didn't it? He didn't look like he was in one of the hard pack ruts, but this is going to ruin his momentum. He was on such a hard charge.
Byron Dennis now, he's there in 4th place, dropped off a little bit from our lead 3.
Yeah, Byron Dennis has wound the wick up a little bit, but he just has not had the pace to go with Ferguson, and even Kingsford is not too far behind off the back of Ferguson.
He just set his fastest lap of the race as well. So, as we said, get to that 10-minute mark, and then things can change around. This is a little bit of a surprise to me. I honestly didn't think we would see Ferguson, not that I am doubting Ferguson's ability or speed or skill right now, I just thought that Connolly might have responded a little bit.
Well, have a look up the inside here. Ferguson, a totally different line. Now, I've got a funny feeling if Ferguson can manage to get past Brodie Connolly, I believe it could be a couple of lines. Have a look at that. Wow. The absolute amazing momentum that we are seeing from Noah Ferguson. Have a look at this. Wow.
That is why we're seeing Ferguson. He looks so in tune with his bike at the moment as he went through that left-hander, stood up the entire way around there, leg just off momentarily. He is really good at the scrub here. Both riders, though, Ferguson a little bit higher. There is Kingsford just in the background too. This is becoming good. Both riders having to dodge a downed rider.
Yeah, well, that definitely affected Ferguson a little more than it did Connolly. But I think, Ham, you tell me what your opinion is. I think Noah Ferguson has got a couple of better lines, but I don't think it's just lines. I think he is vibing. I think he is flowing so good. Let's have a look at the Honda replay here, up the inside. Beautiful, and almost makes the pass here.
Very close. Well, Connolly certainly knows he's got a fight on his hands now. There's still 7.5 minutes to go. Was the charge a little bit early for Ferguson, or does he know the approach by Connolly that we do get to that 10-minute mark and he starts to wick it up? Maybe as a little bit of a surprise attack a little earlier in the race.
Yeah, I think perhaps it was a little bit of a wake-up call for Brodie Connolly with Noah Ferguson reeling him in so quickly, and he would have known who it was. If it wasn't having a look over his shoulder, it would have been the pit board coming out. So he would have gone, I'm not rolling over and letting Noah Ferguson come past me, and he's just responded. He didn't need to follow Ferguson to find some good lines. Yeah, I think just watching closely now and coming in, hitting that braking bump, and now while we're zooming in real close, I think his rear end looks quite possibly the softest out of all of the big guns. Even under braking zone there, where normally the front would dip down, watch how much the back is squatting down. Now, that's good on the small bumps, not so good on the big G-outs, the big takeoff ramps, the big landers. But I think you're exactly right. It's soaking up the small, chattery stuff.
That's the unpredictability right there.
Yeah.
When you hit something you're not expecting if the bike is too soft.
And that was the rear end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it can do weird things that you're not ready for. So still, that is all rider skill and strength that pulled that one back into line as he comes around now to collect the last lap board. One to go for these riders.
Can I just say, how about the form, the gap that Connolly has put on Ferguson now, and then Kingsford? So we're talking 5 seconds back to Ferguson. It's not just Ferguson who's dropped off. You've got Kingsford who was on a massive charge, who was another 5 seconds back, right? So this is just, we've got to throw some shine onto Brodie Connolly and how he has responded. And like we said in the mid part of the race where Ferguson reeled him in, we knew that he was going to respond, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, the response was expected out of him. He definitely struggled in that mid part trying to find the right lines that kept him comfortable on the bike. But once he did find them, then it was all over for everyone else. But like you said, everyone's dropped back. Everyone is just settled now. We got to the tail end, 2-3 minutes to go in this one. They don't feel that there is any benefit in putting too much of an effort in to try and close down and get one more position at the risk that the track could reach up and grab them and take them down and make it even worse for them. So ride this one out, come back Moto2, regroup and try and do it again.
So a great start, a fantastic hole shot, an absolute brilliant maintenance of the lead and fighting off a hard-charging Noah Ferguson mid-race. That is how you do it. Coming around the Shingleback, left-handed turn up and over the tabletop, and he will enter into the final turn and take the checkered flag. Moto1 to the Pirelli MX2. What a race. That is how you do it, and it is getting danger time for the rest of the competitors, particularly rider Kingsford, who wanted to take some points out this race.
What a result, though, for the #1 machine. Brodie Connolly, your winner in Moto #1, Pirelli MX2. Noah Ferguson there in second, rider Kingsford. Alex Larwood after his crash, back there to fourth place. Byron Dennis, Jace Cosford, Caleb Barham, Cobie Burke, Seth Birchall, and Haruki Yokoyama in there in 10th.
Ryan King after a tip over, likewise a big one for Deacon Pace. That's 11th and 12th. Riley Fitzpatrick, Brock Flynn, Jack Kukas, Campbell Williams, welcome back. First time back riding, he's on board the Go 24. Kawasaki under Brett Metcalf there. Cody Griffiths, Reese Budd after a monumental crash. So many big crashes.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. He's all good to come out in the second moto. I'm sure he will be fine. But yeah, monumental crash. And a lot of riders getting caught out by this track and how tricky it is. Let's head down to Trent, who has our winner.
Yeah, boys, down here with Brodie Connolly. Brodie, that looked like it was a tough one. Got a good start, ran a pace early, then had some pressure there midway through, but then that last few laps, man, just looked like you clicked them off, found some good lines and made it easy. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, I got off to a good start, and yeah, I was battling with Reese for the first couple corners, and then yeah, I come round and he's pulled out of the pits in front of me like a few laps in, and sort of, like, what are you doing? And it sort of messed up my flow a little bit, and then yeah, the boys were a bit close for the middle stage there, and but yeah, just tried to reset a little bit and ride it to the end. Track's tricky. It's sort of easy but technical. It's hard to explain. You know, some deep ruts. You got to really pick your lines. But nah. So just do that. Repeat it again in the second one.
There you go, boys. Brodie Connolly ready to go.
Well, sometimes he does it easy. Sometimes he does it a little bit harder, like he did in that one. But he just loves winning, doesn't he? All right, time for a quick break now. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, plenty more action. Welcome back to the Penrite ProMX Championship presented by AMX Superstores. We're here with Western Australian young gun Sonny Pellicano on board the Yamaha machine. Will last round at Warwick got himself a guest ride on board the Monster Energy WBR Yamaha machine. Sonny, an awesome race it was last round, 5th overall, which is a career best for you.
Yeah, it was honestly an unbelievable round, filling in for Cobie Handers. Got 5th. New track in Queensland that I haven't ridden before, and yeah, posted my best result, so I was happy with it.
Now we've got 3 rounds to go, including here at Canberra. Are we going to be able to stay on this bike right the way through? Have you got that ride all the way through to the end of the series?
Yeah, at the moment I'm pretty sure I'm under the truck for the rest of the series and keen to make the most of it.
Now, the last round at Warwick, that's got to breed some confidence in you. Do you think we can come back out here and maybe one-up that again?
Yeah, look, my goal coming into this weekend is striving for more and getting a podium. I think that's possible.
I think it's possible for sure. Yourself and Seth Shackleton, both a couple of young Western Australian lads. WA boys doing good things. Your first year out of juniors for both of you guys, and it's great to see you both up in the top 5.
Yeah, honestly, battled with him all my junior career, and now to be doing it on the national stage, it's unreal.
Fantastic. Great opportunity with the team here. Best of luck out the back end of the championship.
Thank you, Lee.
A lot of talent in the MX3 and a lot of experience and chances for these riders to get up there onto a team as well. As we now look at the Honda race highlights for Moto number 1 of our MX3, and it was a big launch out by a junior rider on 27, but as they exited the corner, we would see Jack Davison move himself into the lead, but wouldn't be there for too long before a major charge from Cade Kingsford to try and put himself up in the first place.
Yeah, he's just been the star performer throughout the whole of the MX3 Championship. He is coming off the back now of, what is that, 8 back-to-back wins and is in fine form. Huge championship points lead now. Drew Kramer there. Jet Allstars on the number 42, finding his favourite line up the inside. He come from a long way back, would make his way through the pack all the way up towards 3rd place.
There was plenty of passes being made by Allstars getting past Kramer here. He had Lindsay as well in front of him. There were so many different riders that he had to get through before he got to that final place. Pellicano was up there nice and early as well. Manson with a big run around the outside.
Great little battles here, and riders 2 abreast right the way through the field.
There's Townsend there going past Lindsay just to the inside through that Honda right-hander. Kai Woods found himself in 2nd place. He needs to be up there running with our leader. It was a little bit back off the pace, but he has the opportunity now to come back and make it a win in Moto number 2. But no one saw the direction of this guy here. He stretched it out to an enormous lead. A little whip here to close out the Moto.
A little whip.
And he picked up the checkered.
That was a nice one.
Very nice one. Would pick up the checkered flag. The first win. 8 in a row Moto wins. Can he make it 9 and pick up some more going into Moto number 2?
Wow, he has got himself some serious momentum, does Cade Kingsford. So we are down on the starting line, and we are only moments away from Moto 2 with the Maxxis MX3. 20 minutes plus a lap the duration, the same as Moto 1. And at the end of this race, we will tally the points from both races and see who comes out on top. Will Cade Kingsford make it back-to-back wins, or will Kai Woods turn the tables and go 2-1 on the day for the overall win?
15-second board is up, ready to go right now. And we will get those answers shortly as the MX3, the Maxxis MX3, gets set to launch out of the gates. Does the start come from the inside? Can Kai Woods pick himself up a whole shot and run for this battle up front? Kingsford just outside of him on the 20 machine. And Kingsford with a great launch out once again. Allstars is there as well.
Out of the first turn, that looks to be Cade Kingsford. He's had himself a change of gear. He's in the blue, but Jet Allstars swings in from the outside. Nice to have the young lad out of Queensland. Such a good kid, Jet Allstars. Let's see if we can hold on to this for a while. Around the outside with other plans is Cade Kingsford.
So we said in Moto number 1 that Allstars just needs to get himself a start to have that chance of running up the front. Well, boy, you have that opportunity right now. Let's see what you can do with it. Kai Woods is there in 3rd place as well. The WP Holshot Award going to the 20 machine of Cade Kingsford as he dives to the outside once again, picks up a rut nice and early. Looks like he's going to get that pass made.
All right, Danny, well, while you've been doing some spectacular commentary, I've been having a little bit of a look at the weather radar. We have got some rain coming. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It's not going to hit us just yet, but keep your eyes on those clouds because they are coming. It's a couple of Hondas at the head of the pack. One of them's a factory Honda with the number 20 on, and the 42 of Jet Allstars having his ride of the series so far.
I think the rider, wow. turning it inside out. I think the rider that can get that corner, Dunlop corner back there before these tabletops right, is going to have a massive advantage. We saw our lead riders all really struggling to try and get through there. As we see Shackleton up the front here, putting a big move to the inside of Kai Woods. He wants a piece of this top three.
A much better start from Shackleton. He would have been devastated after that first moto. He needs to make amends and get some good points here in Moto2, but strong in second place is Jet Alsop. Kai Woods wants to try to get back up into that second place if he's got any hope of keeping a toe on the back of Cade Kingsford.
Around the left-hander here, stretched out lead, Kingsford 1 second over Alsop as Wood dives down the inside. It's a big line. He will need to have a good run through here, but Alsop knows how it changed the last time around, but Woods looks like he's got the better run, will run it wide, puts himself there into second.
Great move. He just had so much determination from the moment he went through a little mistake there. He nearly gave that position back, but coming out of that final turn before the finish line area, he was determined to get that spot. He knew he needed to be in second place. Number 32, one of our junior riders there. Is that Joby Dunn?
Yes. Yes, unfortunately for him going down, it's very easy to do. Woods really made a mess of that rut just moments ago, but somehow turned it into a pretty exit. I don't know how he made that work, but it did. It worked. It got him in there into second place as they go through that very difficult corner. Watch Alsop here. Nice and low. Oh, wow. His back tire almost hitting the elbow of Kai Woods. More momentum. Puts him to the inside. It looks like he's got this pass made back.
What a great fight we're seeing for second and third place. The minor placings on the podium up the inside. Bumping handlebars a little bit there. No problem for Jet Alsop. He was not rattled in the slightest.
Well, Alsop's a big boy. You would want to hit Alsop pretty hard to move him. If you're going in, you've got to be very forceful. And Woods was trying to put the pressure on there. These boys haven't dropped off the back of our race leader too much. We'll see the lap times the next time around because Kingsford clearly fastest the last lap and should show a bit more of a gap, but I think maybe a mistake or something has slowed him up a little bit. All the boys in second and third have picked up the pace just a bit more.
Possibly setting up a passing move there almost, but not quite. At what point, Danny, do you think that Cade Kingsford starts to go, look, I do not really want to risk throwing this thing down and jeopardizing my championship here?
Yeah, I mean, a couple more mistakes like that, you'd have to start putting that into your brain. As they continue to battle it out, these two up the front, into some left riders. It's going to close up in a moment. Who will come out on top?
Battle continues between the two Honda riders. The number 20 of Cade Kingsford getting very close to a lap rider there. Some nice evasive action. Let's have a look at the Honda replay. This is the mistake from Cade Kingsford coming out, not leaning it over quite enough for that run and just got kicked sideways and was very lucky he didn't get passed by Alsop there.
They get deep into some lapped riders at the moment. Kingsford on the 20 machine. Goes to the inside. He's going to get balked here by the number 4 machine. Held up only momentarily. Alsop not quite close enough to be able to make a pounce. And while these riders continue like this, Cade Kingsford still looks like he is in control of this race. I haven't really seen, yes, there's been a couple of mistakes, but I haven't really seen any moments where I thought, I think Alsop has it at the moment. I think Kingsford's still well within control, leading into the tail end. 6.5 minutes to go in Moto number 2. We're looking out the window here, Lee. We can see those clouds and they are getting closer, and I don't feel they're going to miss us this time.
No, well, not only that, they are definitely not going to miss us. Trust me, I've been watching the radar closely. But not only that, as we have a look at the Penrite banners just outside of our commentary box here, the wind has picked up as well. We've had riders go down. The number 6 is that Maxi Compton.
Deegan Rose, 68. Unfortunate for him, he was up there with a decent position as well. The replay, just look, where is it? There, top of screen, I think. Oh, okay, he's just coming into the left of screen just now. You'll catch him behind the tree. Oh, wow, over the bars in the rut. We've seen that a lot this year.
Yeah, do you think just the bottom of the fork legs caught and just straight over the bars and then nowhere to go for Max Compton?
So the lead now has stretched out. As we said, if it wasn't going to be done in that lap or two, I think that was going to be enough for Kingsford to say, I'm ready to blast. Oh, and he's gone down. That is Deegan Rose. Can we see Allsop get around? He definitely does.
Nowhere to go. That was, did you see the lofting of the front wheel from Cade Kingsford? He had nowhere to go, just lofted and once again caught. But he is up and going. He is surely up in second place. All right, let's have a look at the Honda replay here out of the turn. Now, yellow flag out, but not till he sees in the corner. Too late, lofting of the front wheel. Now, beautiful execution, except for the fact that the front wheel dropped into another rut. There's no more that he could do with that scenario.
I actually thought that was a brilliant move that he did to try and get out of that.
Amazing. Not many people would have been able to do that.
How he escaped that inside rut was incredible in its own, but unfortunate, it just didn't pay off. However, he is there in second place. He could have got stuck with Deegan Rose if he'd not done that, and still down.
Well, those ruts, all massive, massive lightning that we have just seen. So let's have a look here. This is another angle. Oh, so unlucky.
Yeah, that one's a tough one. Tough pill to swallow. But he will pick up very, very important points. Our race leader final lap. He is going to be absolutely ecstatic with this result. A win in the final moto here. Half a lap to go. Jet Allsop has put in some serious work today. He has kept the pressure on in moto number 2. He puts himself into the right position when things have gone his way and now finds himself up getting set for his first win here of the year.
Well, isn't this a Cinderella story right here? This puts a smile on my face. You will not find a happier-go-lucky kid out there on the track. Not just him, his mum and dad. They are just absolute gold. So to see this, he is going to be so ecstatic here. Jet Allsop on board the Pro Honda Ride Red Support Honda team, not the factory squad. He is out here circulating, doing the best he can, and he is up at the pointy end of the field. Incredible job for Jet Allsop as he makes his way through. Let's follow him up and over the rollers, the very latter stage of this last lap. He is going to come through and take victory here. Have a look at the happiness from him, the fist pump. Final turn comes through to take the win. Maxxis MX3 Moto2, Jet Allsop, a nice no-legger there. Over the moon, and the crowd will be going wild here. You've got to feel, though, for Cade Kingsford. He still will take the overall. Well, great to have a close-up look at the face there. He still won overall. He went 1-2 for first place overall. Massively stretched out the championship points lead once again, but so upset, right? Let's take a look here at the results from that second moto. Jet Allsop with the win. Cade Kingsford second place. Kai Woods in third, a strong fourth for Seth Shackleton. Jack Devison in fifth place.
Hayden Downing with a great result there in sixth place. Casey Wilmington, Balin Townsend, Max Compton, Riley Burgess manages to still hold on there. Drew Kremer, Heath Davey, Jack Burton, Finley Manson, and Patrick Butler, 15th.
Great ride from these riders. 18th place, Sonny Pellicano, Corey Eisel back there in 19th. And 20th place, Austin Boyd.
Let's head down to Trent, who has our winners.
Yeah, down here, Kai Woods third on the day here today. That last one, had to work through it, took us through today. Looks like he had some struggles out there.
Yeah, man, I just started struggling with stuff all day, but yeah, no excuses. The boys are riding so good today, and yeah, I need to get my rut tracks a bit dulled a bit more heading into Woomba. So yeah, we'll be working on ruts this for the next month or so. So yeah, pretty happy. I mean, another overall podium, so I can't complain. But you know, I want to be up there with these boys, and yeah, hopefully we'll rebound at Toowoomba.
Awesome job. Move over here to our winner of Moto2, second on the day, Jet Allsop. Jet, how does that feel to get a win on the books, man? The smile says it all, and P2 on the weekend.
Oh man, it was a really good weekend, and it's so good to finally get a win and stick it to the factory boys a little bit, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to let the opportunity go when I got that good start. I knew I had to make something of it, and I always knew if I got a good start, I could win the race, and I just proved it then.
Awesome job. Congratulations. Here with Cade Kingsford. Cade, talk us through that last moto, man. That mistake there obviously cost you. Still got the overall win, but you can see the frustration on the face.
Yeah, I got off to a good start. Jet was riding really good, but kind of put some charge in with a couple laps to go and got a gap, and then half the MX3 field doesn't know how to ride, so this lap has gone everywhere. and unfortunately that ruined my race, and still got first overall, but I wasn't really happy with that. You know, I had a winning streak going and wanted to keep it going, so first overalls don't do it for me anymore, and yeah, I'm pretty pissed.
There you go, guys. A bit angry, but he still gets a win.
Great to see Allstars get that win finally under his belt, and look out for big things over the next couple of rounds from him also.
There we see our podium first, second and third for the Maxxis MX3. Let's take a look at the championship points. 288. Massive points lead for Kate Kingsford. Back to Kai Woods in second place. Jet Allsop really settling in there in third. Jack Devison in fourth. Seth Shackleton in fifth. Back in sixth place, Balin Townsend. Riley Burgess in seventh. Sonny Pellicano in eighth place. The weather here is starting to kick in. Have a look at the skies. You can see the far right of the screen there. That's when things look a little normal. That is a massive storm in the background, and we have got lightning. We've got it all going on. Time for a quick break. When we come back, the MX2 Moto number 2. Welcome back to the Penrite ProMX Championship presented by AMX Superstores.
Oh, what's that? It's raining. We've been calling it, and it's finally here. And I don't, by the looks of it out of our window, it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. However, this surface is really going to play havoc when it gets wet.
Yeah, well, look on the radar. There's yellows and reds that just managed to miss us the first time through, but there's a big band of it coming through afterwards, which I think we've got no choice but to get. Let's take a look at Pirelli MX2 lineup here. Brodie Connolly, Ryder Kingsford, Byron Dennis, fast in qualifying. Noah Ferguson, Alex Larwood, Reese Budd, Cosford, Pace, Yokoyama and Flynn.
Expect to see Ferguson and Larwood come out swinging, especially now that we have some slightly different conditions for these riders to negotiate. Now they've gone out, they've done their sighting lap. They haven't got a real understanding, though, of how slippery this surface could potentially get if too much rain comes down. As we said, looking out the window right now, it looks like we've been spared for the moment. There is a few drops that have come down, but it doesn't look too bad right now. I think the riders are okay.
I think we're at the stage at the moment where the tacky parts of the track, no problem. The slick stuff, it is going to be slippery. Let's watch for the drop of the gate. Moto2, Pirelli MX2. Who is going to get the whole shot? Vision will be so important here. The number 7 of Cosford there, but up the inside. What a move from Connolly around that first turn. Oh, sideways.
Ferguson's there, as to Barham. There is Larwood. Diving to the outside, coming together with one of our other riders.
Is that Haruki Yokoyama, I think? Yes.
It was, I'm not sure, but either way, he wasn't quite able to hold on. Up and over the slippery conditions first. Big kick there by Ferguson as he came through that bump.
Actually, I think that's Matic Dixon there.
Yeah, that's what I think Matic Dixon was. 3-1-8, absolutely. Good start for him. As to Byron Dennis, he is up there in 4th. 5th, about to go to 4th right now. So we look at the WP Whole Shot Awards, and a beautiful first turn for Brodie Connolly, number 1. And look at this, repeat from Moto number 1. How hungry do you reckon Ferguson is right now?
Well, I was just going to say, the last few corners, someone who is comfortable in the slippery conditions. Noah Ferguson is on fire here in Moto 2.
Towards the first of our tabletops, I don't think we'll see any big scrubs here. They're going to keep it relatively straight as these ramps will become rather slippery. They have very hard surface. Ferguson to the outside now, looking for something to open up, but the door closed by Connolly at the moment keeps him back there in 2nd place.
Well, he's got some good lines that are coming together. Everywhere that he is going on the track is looking good. So, and most of the time he is not following. That nearly caught him a bit unawares.
But that kind of intensity that we see out of Ferguson right now is going to continue to push through and give him that confidence to run and try and take this victory away from Brodie Connolly. To the outside, looking for some fresh dirt, is the Honda rider. Connolly is going to pay off up and over the top of the tabletop. we may see that if we do get more rain, that they start looking to some outside, some different lines, trying to find some loose dirt rather than sitting on that very bright, shiny dirt.
Well, that's a good line there from Noah Ferguson into that final turn. He takes the inside and then exiting the turn, cuts back even tighter, keeps it on some nice, good dirt and not too many bumps out there. I'm loving the lines that are coming together for Ferguson.
Wiping the goggles already is Larwood with his glove. That only works so many times before it just doesn't work and you have to rip those goggles off.
Yeah, and as soon as you pull the goggles off, it is not only hard to keep your vision, but it's quite dangerous, isn't it? You know, you think, you know, best case scenario, you get some grains of dirt in there, but you cop a rock to the eye and it's extremely dangerous.
We've seen many a time that a rider has unfortunately had an impact into the eye because of the goggles being thrown off, but when you simply can't see where you're going, it's the only option that you've got. Here's the big charge though, Kingsford to the inside, a beautiful run out of turn number 1 into the second turn. Oh, how are both of them riders making some huge mistakes there coming out of that corner?
Yeah, well, Kingsford just plain and simply just tried to get that front wheel out a little early of that hook and the exit, and exactly what we were talking about before and did the track piece, Danny. That is the part of the track. If you don't sweep far enough to the left, you can have all kinds of dramas. Oh, we've had a rider go. That
Kingsford.
Rider, Kingsford, has gone down just after our finish line here, and we can see yellow flags being waved feverishly.
We've got to get that bike started again. Needs to be. Here's the Honda replay. Watch. I would think a slide out on the up ramp. We can see out wide is where Byron Dennis went. Maybe we don't have Kingsford, but that is the reason. Here it is. Watch to see the back end slide out. Yes.
Oh, that was
in a hard
nasty.
hit. That is the slipperiness that we talk about, the shiny dirt that we talk about with these riders looking for traction when they get a little bit of water on it. It's not a lot. It changes the whole dynamic of the traction here. With these kind of conditions too, you see the riders get more comfortable as the race goes on. Big mistake there by Noah Ferguson, just sitting it up a little bit too much. The yellow flag out. Is that another? Don't know where that's now preempted Noah Ferguson.
Slow motion crash there for Noah Ferguson. That was one, you know, sometimes you just slap into the ground and you don't see it coming. You're like, what just hit me? That was a slow motion. Let's watch the Honda replay here. It starts right about here, starts to tip, foot dab, and into the ground.
Unfortunate for him because he was definitely moving forwards once again. He got underway. Very disappointed in what he had done, but he will continue on. Larwood now into second. We have lost Cosford on our list. He is down to 4th. So something's happened there for for Cosford, my apologies, because he was in front of Larwood. And now he's dropped back just a little bit.
There's a little bit of a recap there. Brodie Connolly still our race leader. He's got himself a 10-second gap now back to his teammate, Alex Larwood, in second place, who has the roll-off film just dangling in the breeze there. Just some kind of a distraction, not only for himself, but anyone who finds themselves behind him.
Byron Dennis up and over. You can see Cosford in the background. Oh, how about this? Connolly. Is there a curse against the Hondas today? People out to get them? 2 motos in a row that we've seen our race leader have some issues. Here is the replay. Crash just in front of Connolly.
Well, 2 riders trying to go for the same rut there. I think
they were 2 different lines that come together.
Joined together. I think perhaps Connolly thought he was going to be a little bit further ahead of where he was, but that could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Forward to finish line again, 8.5 minutes. In fact, Lee is the time still on the clock with another lap to go after that. There is the peak extension. We can see it on the 22 machine just there. A little bit of an extension on the front of the peak. That assists with the roost of the rain, like we mentioned before. Thankfully, though, the rain has stopped falling, but it has made that track rather slippery. Barham to the inside, looking for a way through.
Great little battle between the 2 Kawasaki riders, and you have to think, if you scan your memories back to the mammoth crash that was had by Reese Budd I believe, was it Barham that accidentally slid into him? So the Kawasaki boys, and no strangers to each other, that's for sure. Riding for different teams, but definitely no strangers to each other. So a little bit of a clinic being put on at the head of the pack by our two HRC Honda riders, Brodie Connolly in the lead, Alex Larwood in second place. He's 7.3 seconds back, but their lap times are only about half a second apart from each other. Byron Dennis, impressive in third place. He finds himself almost 17 seconds off the lead, but only 7 seconds behind Larwood.
Big dive around the outside for Noah Ferguson. Oh, falls into that rut to the inside. Back end sliding out on the up ramp of that tabletop, almost hitting Haruki Yokoyama. So Haruki not willing to give this one up just yet. As Ferguson closes down that door and puts himself there into 5th place.
A little bit of a kick there from Noah Ferguson. The battle continues between himself and Haruki Yokoyama. And the rain has started to fall once again right now. Connolly, our race leader, that gap remaining the same. 7.8 seconds. Have a look at the battle. Yokoyama to the inside, trying to get back past. And he does. What a move from Haruki. Goggles off.
There's the goggle throw from Noah Ferguson. He tried to hold on as long as he could with that position. This is where Ferguson could easily override the bike and make some more mistakes. He's got to stay well with inside his head. You can see him shaking his head at the moment.
Alex Larwood would be wanting the goggles, wanting the vision at the moment. Have a look, the rain is coming in sideways. The lapped rider just moving out of the way. Final lap for our race leader, Brodie Connolly. Alex Larwood, a strong second place. The rain has come at the right time for these MX2 riders. Can you imagine the MX1 riders, the mechanics, the team managers, everyone is just going, oh no, what are we in for here?
We've been there, haven't we, Lee?
We have.
We've been there, watched it come over and then just absolutely dump down right before your race. It's not a pretty feeling when you've got so used to a track the way it was before you have to go out and do that final race and sit on the line under the umbrellas, trying to stay dry for only moments before you get out and deal with the mud. But, I mean, right now, the track still looks pretty good. It's going to get slipperier as the day goes on, starting to get a little bit of mud. But, yeah, it's going to change very, very quickly.
Well, talk about having it on lock. This guy has not put a foot wrong the whole day. Brodie Connolly on board the Polyfloor HRC Honda machine. He came out in Moto1, stomped them, took the race win. It doesn't matter the conditions, dry or wet. Coming through the final turn, and he'll make it 2 wins from 2 starts. Nice sideways drift. And have a look at that, off the side of the track and happy to finish the race. Pull of the roll-offs there, no problem with the vision. And how about that, a strong second place from Larwood, where vision was certainly an issue. Impressive ride from these two, talking some stories from throughout the race. Let's have a look at the results here. Brodie Connolly with the win. Alex Larwood, 9.4 seconds back in second place. An impressive third for Byron Dennis.
As two for Jace Cosford, picking up one of his best results of the year. Yokoyama, Bud Barham, Cobie Burke, a New Zealander, as we expect. Brian King, as we expect. Another New Zealander, Campbell Williams, return to a 10th place. Fantastic.
Yeah, great return from Campbell Williams. And of course, Brett Metcalf, good job securing Cambo. Ryder Kingsford there up to 11th after that monumental crash. And I see you pointing out 14th place there. What happened to Noah Ferguson?
Yeah.
The wheels came on.
He was right there with Yokoyama. I just feel like he was overriding it and really trying too hard, and that is these conditions. You've really got to back it down sometimes to continue to go forwards.
Nicholas Medson there in 25th. Clements Armstrong, the list of names goes on. There's some happy times here from, well, there we see team manager, team owner, Yariv Konski for Honda HRC. And the star rider there, Brodie Connolly. Good to see Yariv giving our young up-and-coming superstar Byron Dennis got himself up there in a top 3. We are going to see a lot more from him in the future. Let's head down now to Trent, who's with our podium.
Yeah, down here with Byron Dennis. Byron, that last moto looked very difficult, man. The rain coming down and everything like that, but you fought through and got a podium. How do we feel about that one?
Yeah, no, definitely. The first one I had a bit of it. Yeah, it was a bit, didn't go my way. Just a bit of a lot of mistakes and stuff. But then the second one paid off. Yeah, sitting on the start line, looking at the clouds roll in, thinking it's going to be a wild one, and it sure was. But yeah, it's good to have ended on a good note, and on to the next one.
Awesome job. We move down here. Alex Larwood. Alex, you fought that one all the way to the end. The goggles were malfunction lap 1 and you just stuck with it. You caught your teammate for a little bit there, but talk us through how tough that last moto was.
Yeah, it definitely was tough. Got off to a half bad start and sort of pushed my way through the first lap and first few corners to make up a fair few positions. Then unfortunately my roll-off sort of broke, or something happened on the stream, and the big stream behind me, but sort of put that past me and just tried to focus on each lap by lap, and yeah, ended up second place. So big thanks to the whole HRC Honda Racing team. They do a tremendous job to get us racing, and I can't thank them enough.
Awesome work. And Brodie Connolly, your winner. Brodes, that one looked tough. You had your work cut out. The rain come in, went, came back again, and some lap traffic too. Looked like it caught you in a few sections, but 1-1 on the day, man. What a way to finish here at Canberra.
Yeah, another perfect day. First time here, so cool track. Always good to ride something different, and yeah, that was a wild race. Probably the most fun I've had all year, to be honest. I was just in that flow state. You don't get that very often, but yeah, it's cool just ticking off your laps like that. And got held up a couple of times by some lappers, but I was lucky to have a decent lead. And yeah, just a big thanks to everyone who supports me, my parents, the Townsend family, and the whole Honda Racing crew. My mechanic Jai, he's got his work cut out for him looking at this muddy bike, but yeah, thanks heaps everyone.
Awesome job, MX2 podium, guys.
Brilliant job from our race winner. 2 motos, 2 wins on the day. Brodie Connolly, that is how you do it. Let's take a look at the points. Brodie Connolly with the championship lead, 285, ahead of Ryder Kingsford after that devastating crash there on 248.
37 points now, the difference between these two riders. That there is securing him a very, very comfortable spot up the top. Larwood continues to move forwards just in front of Noah Ferguson with that very result there. Is certainly going to help his points.
Byron Dennis 5th, Cosford, Burke, Birchall, Reese Budd and Deacon Pace rounding out the top 10. Right, there we have it. What a race we just saw from the Pirelli MX2. Round 5 of the My Bike Australian Superbike Championship presented by Moto2 heads next to Queensland Raceway August 8th to 10th. As we kick off the last half of the series, head to asbk.com.au to get your tickets and come watch this amazing spectacle trackside.
And while you are on the web feeding that tarmac appetite, head across to the ProMX.com.au and lock in your tickets to get trackside to fulfill those dirt bike desires as Penrite ProMX Championship lands in Toowoomba for round 7, July 27.
Hammy, it's been an absolute pleasure, I tell you what. Well, it was great to be back in the nation's capital for the first time since 2021, and what a day's racing we have just seen. Thank you so much for joining us here in Canberra for round 6 of the Penrite ProMX Championship presented by AMX Superstores. On behalf of Danny Ham, Trent Marr and myself, Lee Hogan, thanks for your company. We'll see you next as we head to Toowoomba in Queensland for the penultimate round of the series. Goodbye for now.